Property ownership is a major milestone for many Americans, but in some places, it might feel more like a financial trap than a dream. Here are the 10 states with the highest effective property tax rates, according to the Tax Foundation. Wisconsin. Effective tax rate, 1.25%. Wisconsin homeowners face some of the highest property tax bills in the country. The state's local governments and public schools rely heavily on property taxes for funding, which helps explain why rates are elevated statewide. New York. Effective tax rate, 1.26%. While New York City's property tax system is notoriously complex, the tax burden isn't limited to the 5 boroughs. Homeowners across the state face steep bills, and calls for reform continue to grow louder in many communities. Ohio. Effective tax rate, 1.31%. Ohio's property tax system supports local schools and government operations. Rates tend to be especially high in urban areas, where property values are rising and services are more concentrated. Texas. Effective tax rate, 1.36%. Texas doesn't charge a state income tax, which sounds great at first. But the trade-off is that many cities lean heavily on property taxes to fund local services. El Paso, Fort Worth, San Antonio, and Arlington are known for some of the highest rates in the state. New Hampshire. Effective tax rate, 1.41%. New Hampshire also skips a state income and sales tax, making property taxes a major source of revenue. As a result, residents often pay more in property taxes than those in neighboring states with more diversified tax structures. Vermont. Effective tax rate, 1.42%. Vermont's rural communities rely heavily on property taxes to fund public services. With fewer large-scale commercial developments to support the tax base, the burden falls more heavily on homeowners. Nebraska. Effective tax rate, 1.43%. In Nebraska, both residential and agricultural properties are hit hard by high property taxes. Omaha's rates are among the highest in the country, and farmers across the state have voiced concern about the rising costs. Connecticut. Effective tax rate, 1.48%. Connecticut consistently ranks as one of the most expensive states to live in, and property taxes play a major role. Home values are high, and so are the bills to maintain them. That said, higher household incomes in some areas may help soften the impact. New Jersey. Effective tax rate, 1.77%. New Jersey homeowners pay some of the highest property taxes in the United States. High property values and steep local tax rates combine to drive up annual bills. Cities like Elizabeth and Paterson often see some of the biggest tax hits. Illinois. Effective tax rate, 1.83%. Illinois tops the list for the highest property tax rate in the nation. Local governments rely heavily on these taxes to fund schools and services, particularly in places like Cook County, home to Chicago. Buying a home is a big investment, but high property taxes can turn it into an expensive burden. While some states use those taxes to offer strong public services, it's important to consider how much of your income you're willing to spend just to cover your annual bill.